All right, shall we start?
Okay. So should I start by giving my background? Okay.
Uh, Don't worry.
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome to our Mentor Spotlight series where you get to meet the amazing people behind the Nepal US Hackathon 2026 and what actually drives them to be part of this community. That being said, super duper excited today because we have one of our mentors on board, Mr. Nimesh Kuikel, CEO at Data to Insights, joining us. First of all, thank you so much, Nimesh Dai. Finally, we made it happen. And thank you so much for giving me your 30 minutes early in the morning.
Yeah, thank you. It's pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Thank you. The pleasure is all ours. Let's just get straight into it. Can you please briefly introduce yourself and what is it that you exactly do?
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Nimesh Kuikel. I came to US around end of 2008 from Nepal as a student with big ambition and limited resources and no clear vision, right? And my journey has been shaped by resilience, hard work, and the belief that where you start does not define how far you can go. So I was lost in circles like many of Nepali folks coming to US with no resources and did not know where to begin, right? There were tons of career choices to choose from, and over time I learned that success is not just about working harder, but about thinking in systems, solving meaningful problems, and building with conviction, even when the path is not clear. So what I hope to share with the hackathon participants and the broader Nepali leaders community is that the journey is rarely linear, right? So you do not need perfect conditions to start. You need like clarity, courage, and consistency, and also willingness to keep learning. And my advice is to stay close to real problems, build that create real value for other people and just never underestimate and just never underestimate like how far vision and discipline and persistence can take you, right? So I'm the living example of that. So I've not achieved that much, but still I'm also struggling to get where I want to be, right? And coming from Nepal has always been a source of pride for me. And I hope my this story encourages others in our community to think bigger and move boldly and with purpose. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. And you said, right, where you start does not define where you can be at. And even Clinton, you've been so open about the difficulties in your journey from running a gas station to homelessness in New York and then breaking into tech. So it's such an inspiring story. And I think people say this a lot, like a cliche story, but me as a Nepali student and so many different other Nepali students, you're being a representation for us. And everyone goes through that phase, right? And everyone is struggling. Even I am struggling at the moment. Like you said, I am still working towards what I want to be. And yeah, thank you so much for being that representation and just putting that fact out, Venus. I again, thank you so much from everyone on behalf of everyone.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I could share my story and like hope this will bring some, insights to some of the people and they can like create hope inside themselves to do something more amazing stuff like coming to this new country. Yeah.
Exactly. And of course it is. It 100% is because yesterday I was getting back from work and then I was looking at your profile to get the interview, right? And it was like God sent me a signal that, oh, calm down, it'll happen. So yeah, amazing. Thank you for that. Now, a little bit on data to insights and your role as a CEO as well.
Okay, so like professional, let me give you the professional background, like where I'm coming from, and then like I'll talk about data to insights. Okay. So professionally, I have built my career at the intersection of tech, business, and entrepreneurship, right? I founded ventures including Cloud Pro AI and Data to Insights AI. And before that, I've also worked on several other projects where we like on this data to insights specifically about my current project. I have worked with the mid-market and enterprise on building data and AI solutions in leading roles, And previously, I had worked as a SQL developer, database engineer, lead engineer on data and AI projects. And what I found was enterprise data is scattered everywhere, right? And the business and critical decision making is still broken without actionable insight and workflows. And after working with companies like AWS, Autodesk, and across several other verticals building enterprise scale data and AI systems, the first hand, I saw companies drowning in dashboards, spreadsheets, and siloed systems where their system is recorded in several various different places. And while agentic AI tools often hallucinate because they don't understand the business context behind the data, that's why we built data to insights to solve that. Okay, so we turn and transform messy enterprise data into trusted, governed business layer, then power it with the agentic AI that can explain what's happening, surface what matters, and trigger the next best action that you could take inside your business. That means like faster decisions and fewer manual reports, and also like far less dependence on large analyst and engineering teams. So one of the company that I've worked with had more than 15 engineers with like several teams. So this kind of product will reduce the workload of 15 engineers to maybe like 3, 4 engineers can do the same amount of work. So currently we are focused on CPG companies where even small data mistakes create huge operational losses. And our goal is just simple, right? So becoming the intelligence layer that enterprises rely on to run better decisions at scale. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, amazing stuff. And now I'm not from tech background, but all that sounds very efficient and very intelligent. Um, and yeah, amazing work, Ines, right? And hopefully this booms into much more bigger things, the whole data science family. That being said, right, I'm sure with everything that you're doing, being the CEO and then working on the technical side and also working on the business side. So I'm sure you have your hands full with so many things going on, right? So what made you say yes to being part of the Nepal Year's Hackathon 2026? What made you prioritize your time towards this?
Yeah, so like I said before, right? So at one point I was lost and I thought like if somebody was there to help me, I could have done it much faster and much efficiently if somebody had held my hand to show me where I wanted to go, right? So even the smallest insights can like track your, take you to a different path than where you are right now. So I was looking all my life around those kind of mentors, but I could not find none because everybody is so busy. And like initially, I was hard to ask somebody, and to
To
ask
ask.
for insights and things like that. But I want to create that kind of environment where people can reach out to me, and if I can help them on any way I can to reduce their timeline where they wanted to go. And this is the place, right? The hackathon is just a small effort to be there, to be present, and to grow into much more effective leaders in the future, right? So if you talk to the right people, have the right kind of conversation, you could take your life to a whole different level. And there is a reason why people say America is land of opportunities. Yes, actually there is, because you just have to figure out where to look, right? So, and Nepali Leaders Network is that place for Nepali people to come and join hands together and then build something great that other people can utilize and learn from. And it's a common ground for all those Nepali folks out here.
Yeah, perfectly said. I think you just summarized the whole hackathon and what Nepali Leaders Network was going for. And like you said, right, the differentiation between success and failure could be meeting the right people at the right time. And it is amazing and incredible that people like you who've reached a certain point in their life have stepped back and said, okay, I want to give back to the community. I want to make it easier for them. So that passion is what keeps organizations and communities like this alive. So again, thank you so much for agreeing to be part of our mentor session for the Nepal Youth Hackathon 2026.
Yeah.
That said, right, I'm sure you've mentored so many individuals throughout your professional life. You yourself are a leader at your company. So, how would you suggest participants to approach your main mentor sessions so that they get maximum value out of it? Because there's only so many questions they can ask, and we have that time constraint, right?
Okay. Yeah, so first, like, just research about the background, like where I'm coming from, right? And just come prepared on the problems that you are trying to go after. And there is tons of problem statements out there. So I know it's overwhelming to choose like which problem to tackle next, right? But when you look inside like what your experience till now have been, then it will give you a clear picture on where you want it to go, right? So for example, if you are working on clean healthcare domain data sets, for example, right?
Yes.
So you there are tons of like examples of cancer research data or other kinds of like clinical help and that is needed. There is a public data sets out there where you can download those data and then try to analyze yourself and build a system around it.
Mhm.
So same for finance companies, right? There is a fintech data out there. You need to download that data sets and play with it and like figure out like what value can you provide with those with the solution that you have. And if you are trying to build a mobile application and there is a tons of like fields which you can choose to build. So right now building is has never been easier than before, right? So anybody without a technical background can build a product themselves, but just try to narrow down where you want it to focus and just look inside yourself like which problem statement that will excite you the most and bring that energy to the team so that like we can brainstorm more and with the experience that I have and I can like spotlight more things on the thing that you already bring and that you already thought about. So it's not about me myself, it's about you guys. You need to bring out the problem that you already are facing and then we can brainstorm together to take it to the next level.
Yes, exactly. And I think a lot of teams sometimes misinterpret the meaning of a mentor, right? They expect everything out of a mentor without any prior preparation. So I think, like you said, that would be a good thing to get on your to-do list, to research about the mentor and have a nice roadmap so that you can brainstorm together. And that way, I think everyone's getting something out of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So having been part of this, like you said, where we as Nepali people, of course, I do take pride in coming from Nepal, right? And we are very scattered though in the United States itself, right? And I know we have amazing talent, we have the potential, but still, you rarely come across big Nepali community or a dominant Nepali working force in tech or in STEM or any other field, especially in the United States. So, how would you suggest then, and why do you think this hackathon is important in bringing, or it brings those people a step closer towards that community, and not just students, but even early career professionals who are actively working right now? Why is it so important for them to go out there and communicate and network and be part of hackathons like this?
Yeah. So just just think about like you spending all your time in your room. You have limited resources and limited things to do, right? So either like the new ideas won't flow to you if you like bound it inside a box, right? So you need to think something beyond that. And when you talk to people, so even the slightest, smallest thing could spark something else in your mind that you can take and immediately like put it into action, right? So that's more important. So when you are not bounded, so let's not just stick to Nepali community, right? So you can get help from any other people in the world, but initially we don't know where to begin. So this is the great place that you guys have created for Nepali community and Nepali people, but there are tons of resources and tons of networking activities around the people around the like place where I live, right? So I live in the heart of Silicon Valley, and there are tons of events where I go to and network with people. And just remember always some if the other person is like trying to go somewhere, he's always willing to help you and provide you guidance on whatever they are expertise on, right? So nobody will say no. Like if that person is a valuable resource or he is trying to go somewhere, so they will always help you out. So this kind of platform will give you the confidence that people will help you out if in case of any questions. But what I suggest is just don't limit to like one particular group or one something, right? So you just need to break that barrier and go beyond, talk to people, get inside their head what they are thinking, like where they are coming from, and just follow the people that you really admire in the area that you are trying to go after. So if you are biomedical students who want to get into Berkeley, University of like UC Berkeley, right? So you just need to research on like what are the cutting edge technology that UC Berkeley is doing and try to like break it down into smaller chunks like how you can help. And let's say you are trying really want to get into that university but you are not able to, and in your application you say that like this is the only program offered by UC Berkeley and I'm really interested because I have done all of this like prior work and could not go any further and I need your help to get into this program so I can make the world something better place to live in, right? So that's the mindset that you need to shift and like take action against. So just start with Nepali network, the network with people, get the confidence, build the muscle, and go out there and do some great stuff, like talk to more people in other industries too.
Yeah. Well, Nimesh, I have to say, this is like a motivation session.
That's the goal, right?
But I could listen to you talk forever and ever and ever. And like you said, right, the box that we often confine ourselves with, and just to get out of that box. Now, I recently moved to the US, and I'm starting with Nepali Leaders Network. And you saying this really makes me think that, oh, I need to step back. And after this, I need to look for more opportunities and go out more, build up the muscle, like you said, and then go out. So amazing stuff, and hopefully the people that will be watching this will get as motivated and just go out there and put themselves out there, right? Put Nepali people on the map, they be tech or medical or finance or business or just everything.
Yes, there is tons of opportunity out there. Like, just what will stop you is the fear of like what pe other people will think. But like nobody will even remember your name after you are gone unless you do something great for them, right? So you meet so many people out there and they'll always give you like it's a adding a brick to whatever you are building, one piece of brick at a time from one people at a time. So I read a lot of different books, right? So out of like thousands of different pages, I just remember like one or two things from that book. And if you think about like the compound effect after reading like 50 books, like 50 lines that you can remember, that will change your life, right? So that's the same with the people. Just when you talk to more and more people in the network, you bring more knowledge inside you and you have tons of content you can talk about or do research about or things like that, right?
That's the most amazing thing I've heard. And yes, the more people, the more it's always about network, and network some more, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So we spoke a lot about what to do and how to do it, but what would you say not to do? Like, especially in a hackathon setting like this, what's a common mistake you see participants and people in general making?
So not in and not spending enough time with the problem. So that's one, right? So you just need to really think through breaking down into systems. Okay. So when you think about a problem, just don't jump into solution right away. You need to it's just a practice session for you, right? So you need to build like how do you want to tackle this problem? So right now with the introduction of Cloud Code and ChatGPT and other like amazing tools, right? So what do you think you can build? but you need to plan accordingly, like what you wanted to build. So if you spend enough time thinking about the problem and breaking down into small pieces before actually starting on the problem, that will help you plan your route, like what to do next and where to go from there. So I I encourage participants to just like focus on the problem first. First part, like think hard as much as you can, plan out the steps like you wanted to do, and then let's brainstorm together to figure things out after like each step. And just you have to think about in first principles thinking, like breaking down that problem into subsequent smaller steps that you can take to go to the next step. So that's where a lot of folks like mistake about, right? So they just think about the problem, just go tackle and then get it done. So that's not how it works in the real world. So you just need to be really smart and like what the other person or what the other you need to take care about the user's perspective too, like what the user is thinking, like when you are trying to build a solution, like what the other person, the user using that will think. So you need to step into their shoes and like break it down. Like a lot of people don't do that, so that's why they miss things.
Yeah, and especially I think that is why having different perspectives on your team also matters a lot, right? And we don't know the pool of people we'll be getting in a team. Someone might be doing their first hackathon, someone might be straight out of high school, someone might be working in a big hotshot company. But taking in everyone's perspective and working in that team will, I think, eventually make you win or lose the competition, right?
all I all I want to do is make your thinking, critical thinking better, So it's like that's my mentoring style, right? So I just don't solve the problems for you, but I need to help you think properly into systems, and then you build it. Like I'll give you the light bulb moment so that you like ting, and then you'll be able to solve the problems. Yeah.
Perfect. And again, it again comes down to the simple principle of taking a big chunk and breaking it down, like breaking it down, breaking it down, breaking it down, and making it simpler. So perfect.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for bringing that out. And we have only 5 minutes left. I did not realize how fast this conversation went. Do you do TED Talks? I think you should do TED Talks next time. Come on.
Yes. In future, yes, but right now, like I'm building my muscle too. I'm trying to grow my company. I'm trying to raise funds for my next venture, things like that. So there's a lot going on. So maybe someday, yes.
Someday I'll be on the front row seat. Wait, you should listen. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing talking to you. And most importantly, I think you're speaking about the thing each and every Nepali student internationally, not just in the US, each and every international Nepali student or all of the international students go through at some point in their life. And it's really inspiring to see someone openly talk about it, because that's very rare. Everyone's just talking about the happy ending or the good bits that happen at the end. But it's very rarely that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
very rare.
trust me, like you'll get a lot of no's from people, and like you'll get humiliated in front of people, but like who cares, right? So eventually you are here to learn and grow from people. Even the people who don't love you or who don't listen to you, they will teach you something, right? So I have had moments when talking to a lot of people, I say no, I get discouraged, and that doesn't mean anything to me. Just don't let anybody get inside your head and like mess with it, right? So you just keep your head straight and like work on the problems that you have, not care about other people's perspectives. Like take the perspectives, the people that you care about are it's relevant to you, but like let it go.
Just be out there. And at the end of the day, 5 years down the line, those people are not going to be there, but you yourself are going to be with yourself, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so before we end this call, one last question. After everything we've spoke about community building, just critical thinking, networking, there might still be people who are feeling like, oh, I'm not yet ready for the hackathon yet, or I'm not yet ready to take this first step. What would you say to them?
So it's just a misconception. So you are always ready. Like it's only like 3 seconds. It will take you 3 seconds to decide anything, right? So this is the most amazing thing. Like when you go into hackathon and you think about the problem, you work in groups, you connect with people, and eventually, like you may end up falling in love with that problem, and eventually, maybe like build a great company out of it. Like I have seen that happen with a lot of people, right? So they started with nothing. They don't want to like participate in the hackathon, but they went anyway. But it started something new in them and they became the great leaders afterward, so just don't think about like holding yourself back and not doing anything, right? So it just be there. Like if you don't have anything to say, just be there, listen to the conversation, and like if you can participate and bring something new, that's great. If not, at least you'll get something out of it, so be there, just take the first step.
Yeah, take the first step, 0 to 1, and then you'll amplify and get to 100 on itself.
It's not like it's 0 to 1 is a heavy word. So let's say zero to 0.01.
Noted. Okay, thank you so much, Nimista. It was amazing talking to you. And yeah, it's very inspiring to look at your journey. Again, thank you so much. And thank you so much for having the passion to give back to the community, to inspire other people, for having that, wit and that basically that feeling that, oh, I want to help others. I want to make their road a little bit easier. So yeah, thank you so much for all your amazing work. Thank you so much for being a part of the Nepal US Hackathon 2026. And I'm 100% sure the perspectives, the mentorship that you bring to the table will be very valuable for the students and the participants. And yeah, thank you so much. Have
And thank you, Prapti, and thank you giving me an opportunity to be a mentor. So I really appreciate it. And you guys are doing a great, awesome job bringing people together and keep it up. We'll always support you.
Oh, thank you so much. And the pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much, Dai. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you from March 27th to 29th.
All right. Thank you.
Good
Bye.